My background as an estate planning attorney and my experience as the CEO of an addiction treatment center has really been valuable to identify issues that families are facing related to wealth transfer and beneficiaries and heirs who have addiction. So it's actually a very unique area, both in the area of the law and also an area in our addiction practice, where you have wealthy families who have attained, considerable assets and also prestige. However, either one of the members of the parent, one of the parents, or one of the children is facing addiction, and a lot of times the families don't know how to deal with these types of issues, both from a treatment perspective. How do I get my child into treatment? How do I ensure that if I'm no longer here? That's one of the biggest real concerns we have is, while they're here, they believe they can help, right? And that in and of itself, everyone recognizes is a huge challenge. But imagine if you weren't here. What if you were to pass away and you know that you have a child, no matter what the age, whether they're an adolescent or an adult, and they're facing addiction, and you're worried that, well, I'm not going to be here. How am I going to be able to help my child, help this person who I love and who I've put all these resources into my whole life? That's something you can actually do with the estate planning documents and the living trust and other related documents that a typical estate planning attorney would put together. However, because of the addition of the addiction and the fact that they would have to go through treatment and be in some type of recovery program, a lot of attorneys and a lot of estate planning attorneys don't know how to go through the details and the minutia of governing documents and planning language that faces these types of specific situations. And so that's something that we've been able to identify as a problem, and we have language that we've put together that would help other attorneys, would help families that are planning their estate and want to see how they can really put real detail into these governing documents in order to provide the type of protection for their children and the kind of support for their children going through an addiction when they're no longer here. And we're able to do that through these types of trust and other planning tools. And that's one part of it. The actual documents and the planning is one part. The other part is, how do you counsel the clients effectively? And a lot of times it's a matter of asking the right questions to identify these issues, whether there's addiction in the family, but also being knowledgeable about things like intervention and treatment and recovery. And that's where we can be a good resource for a lot of attorneys and families out there who want to learn more about what does it really take, how long are they in treatment, how do they pay for treatment, what are the mechanisms in place that a trustee would be able to utilize in order to withhold the distributions to that beneficiary until they hit certain milestones. And so that's an area where we can really be of help and a great resource, not just for families and clients, but also for other attorneys and professionals such as CPAs and financial advisors, business managers.